Welcome back. It's your host, Mr. Gray. I just want to thank you for tuning in once again. We're going to jump right into it. Today we are here to talk about the Air Max 1 Kiss of Death Solar Red, which actually came out on July 20th at exclusively at Clot locations, or basically their stores. It didn't release on Nike sneakers. It didn't release in any other locations that I'm aware of, but just pretty much mainly through Clot locations, which are not in the US. Either way, it's a really, really nice shoe. But I guess before we jump directly into that shoe, this year Clot has been dropping a lot of heat as far as the Air Max 1s are concerned. Of course, they have done Clot versions in the past. We're not going to talk about any past preview before this year. We're going to talk about the ones this year. So the first one that I had done a review with, I don't even know how long ago, was which we're gonna call the OG for this year's OG, because this was the first one they dropped this year. Now, once again, they have done collaborations in the past on Air Max 1s, but we're talking about this year. For this year, they first dropped the Air Max 1 Kiss of Death, which was this one. Then they dropped the Air Max 1 Kiss of Death. I don't know if we want to say CHA or CHA, which I do not have, but I tried my best to get. But they are closing out the trifecta with the Air Max 1 Kiss of Death Solar Red, which comes in a box the same as the other one, as the same as the other two versions came in. I know my box is a little trashy. It is what it is. I'm not going to wear the box, guys, I promise. So I guess to give a few details about the shoe, or let's go with what their colors are: Solar Red and University Red. Before we pull the sneaker out, which, I don't pull the sneaker out, I forgot. We don't do sneakers here. We do them in the Lightbox. But before we get into that, this shoe was modeled after the Air Max 1 that was personally made for Kanye, that was in pink. So that shoe he wore in his Touch the Sky tour in 2006. That was in Hong Kong, and Clot actually sponsored that concert, so that's why they were able to create him that shoe that he wore at that concert. Either way, this shoe does not look exactly like that shoe, but it is extremely similar. What I will do is I'll drop a URL I'll drop a link URL in my description to this video, so you can actually see the difference between the one Kanye had that was ultra limited, that I don't think even had a public release, and the one here that was only released at Clot stores. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna get some close-up details of this Air Max 1 Kiss of Death Solar Red. That's a mouthful. Over in the Lightbox. See you over there. As promised, the Air Max 1 Kiss of Death Solar Red. So it's a beautiful shoe. I know I say that about all my shoes, but Jordan 1s are my favorite. Air Max 1s are starting to edge into being my number 2 favorite, but ultimately I love Clot's work. Everything they touch to me turns into gold. Almost like this gold Clot emblem on the back, which is beautiful and sparkly, and it's just amazing. I guess we'll start on the back of the shoe. So you're on the heel, you got that heel, you have that blood red kind of heel back here where the Clot emblem is at, and it's most of the shoe, actually probably all the shoe, is like a very, very fine, smooth suede. From basically from front to back, it's pretty much all suede, except right here on the upper heel, and actually right here on the inside, that's actually leather. And actually, okay, a few more locations right up here around the top as well. But other than that, though, the side panels, the swoosh around the toe box, they're all suede. But it's a very fine suede. It's not, not brushy or anything like that. As you can see, it comes laced with red laces here, but red wax laces, it appears, actually, and not just red, actually, more so of a. I'm gonna keep with the theme of blood red, but then you also have it comes with also a spare set of gray laces as well. You have that gum sole. Now the difference between this sole and the sole on the original one that came out this year, Kiss of Death, is you can see the original Clot has has the colored reflexology foot, but the new Solar Red Air Max 1 has a black and white reflexology foot I guess imagery on the bottom. So of course they both have that reflexology foot with all the pressure points, but like I said, one's in color and the new version is not. One of the things that I did mention is, this is a slight variation of the shoe that was originally released in 2006 for Kanye West for his Touch the Sky tour in Hong Kong. The original shoe is really nice, but be honest with you, this shoe is just as beautiful. The one thing I do like about this shoe more than I like about the other two that released this year, even though the toe box is not completely closed out, and when I say that, I can't even get my hand in there. Ugh. I don't know if you should actually be able to see actually inside. So it is a mesh, but it's not a tight woven mesh on the toe box actually. So you can still see into the shoe like you can on the first two that were released this year, but it's not that plastic. See, it's not plastic anymore. It's at least a mesh. So your whatever socks you have on aren't on Front Street like they used to be. You don't have to be as concerned, but they are still windows, not windows to the sole, but they are still windows to what you're wearing in here because you can see through them pretty well. As far as the insole is concerned, on the new one versus, or I hate to say the old one, remember two of them released this year. So the ones that released earlier in the year versus the one that released just this month, the insoles are exactly the same. You got this one. I don't know if you can see that, guys. You got that one in there, and then you got this one in there. Pretty much the same thing. The tongue is different. So the original one had that red going in the tongue, but this one's gray in the tongue. All three of them have things that you can love about them, be honest with you. From the OG back here to the Cha, which I do not have, to this Solar Red. But to me, even the enclosure of the toe box to me was the perfect ending to this trifecta of shoes that Clot has dropped this year. All three of them, from me personally, are appreciated, but the third one to me is kind of the icing on the cake. You have several hints of gray here, which Mr. Gray loves some gray. Then you have that hot pink right here, which the originals that this are based off of, the ones from Kanye, actually they're more so of a pink. This is a hot pink, but they're more of a regular pink around here. And like I said, I'll post a URL so you can see the photos for yourself, and you can actually read and see the differences between the original shoe it was based off of. Either way, like I said, this is a hot shoe already released. I don't know if there will be a wider release on sneakers or any other tier stores outside of the original Clot releases, but this is beautiful. And I don't even know if to call this suede sometime at this point. It's so smooth. If it's not suede, it's very suede-like. But anyway, I'd say the last thing that gives this just like the perfect kiss of perfection is that how they just right there in that cursive, how they put Clot right there. That's just like their final goodbye for the year. I mean, who knows what else they could drop, but as far as the trifecta of Air Max 1s for this year is concerned, this is it. So Edison Chen, leader, CEO, head of Clot, we just want to thank you. You did a good job on these. As usual, you do a good job on all your releases you've had over the several years that Nike's given you. Reign over making some of these, collaborating with some of their shoes. But this right here is just art. It's beautiful. So once again, guys, I do want to thank you guys for tuning in. If you like this video, please, like this video, and also as well, please subscribe to my channel. So when subscribe and hit the notification bell, so when I drop a new video, you are immediately notified that I have some more heat to show you. So I just want to thank you guys once again for tuning in. Mr. Gray and the Air Max 1 Clots out.